We back. Episode 120. Like always, we're presented by Moon Golf.
Welcome back to the BSG podcast. Like you said, 120 presented by Moon Golf. I'm Casey. This is Zach. The show tonight, we're going to talk briefly about what happened at the President's Cup. There's a lot of tension going on. We have Brantley Scott from Troy University joining us. And then we're going to talk a little about what's coming up and then our drop zone question as always. If you're new here and you're on our YouTube channel, hit subscribe. Help us out. We crossed 1,000. We're trying to just continue the momentum. If you're listening on the podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, leave us a review. I hear that helps a lot. So get on there and help us out. Leave us a review as we're climbing up to 150, then 200, then
Then a
250,
million.
then a million. We're
A
on the way.
million's the goal by the end of 2027.
2027. You talking about subs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the move.
Let's say the first 500, it goes 100, 500,000, 10,000, 100,000. And
When do we get a plaque? At 100,000?
I don't know. I got a spot on my wall for it.
No, but if we have 100,000 subs, we better have an office somewhere.
Yeah. That's what we need. I feel like that's what Busted and them did.
Yeah, we're getting there though. We better have some cool videos coming out. We'll talk about in a minute. Real quick, let's recap. And if you're listening, when Brantley jumps on, we're going to jump straight to Brantley. So if we're in the middle of talking about President's Cup and we jump over, just hang with us. That's what's happening. So President's Cup is held at Royal Montreal Golf Club up in Quebec, Canada. So kind of an away game for the Americans a little bit. A lot of home advantage for the international. USA wins. Sunday was
As
just
predicted by both of us.
yes. Sunday was just a easy round, but Thursday USA went out and won all 5 matches, 5-0, and I thought, oh, this is a wrap. Friday, international team goes out, wins all 5 matches. I was like, oh, okay, this may be a battle.
I saw someone talking about it today. They said what should happen on Sunday, it should be pairings. Like a 2v2 for the final day.
That a singles?
Do singles on like Saturday.
Yeah.
And then the final day is the pairings. That way you got like the Ryder Cup, like you got the teammate aspects on it.
That would be fun because everybody gets a little more hyped up when you're playing with a teammate. A lot of chirping there. So even one of the international players, one of the Kims, was saying that he had some people cussing at him from the American team, which is wild. I was shocked. The first clip I saw was when Tom Kim yelled or shot. Yeah. Well, before that, when he shouted it, I guess he said he didn't shout it towards Scotty, but then Scotty turned around and shouted, "What was that?" when he made that long birdie
putt. That was exciting.
Yes. So
that's
what the President's Cup needed.
As Scotty plays, you never see any emotion. Then he's, what was that?
Just a quick head turn and the yell.
Felt like Stone Cold was coming through him.
Yeah, that's the clips that they wanted for social media for sure. Now the night celebration, that was pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie. He said Steph Curry.
I feel like on the green is such a weird place to do it.
The night
he's running on the green, and those greens are so tight and precise. I feel like when we played in Sand Hollow or just any of the Utah courses, like you could squat down, you can see like the foot imprint on some of the greens. I feel like those with him running is just cutting it up.
What'd you think about if you and your teammate were still putting out and your opponents walked to the next tee already? Would that bother you?
If I didn't lose.
Yeah. If you
walk away, because they ended up losing that, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah.
So to walk away as a loser is like one thing. But if you're up like 3,
yeah,
you put in and you're like, oh, and then you just walk away. That's tough.
Kisner said he said it hyped him up just to be like, where'd they go? Oh, they're on the next tee box already, not even staying to finish. So there's
I kind of like it. I like it as a disrespectful tone.
Yeah, I like that it was intense like that because in the past these matches it hasn't been as exciting as the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And so for it to do that was insane. And then Scotty like dunking it from the bunker, just an incredible shot to be able to do that. That was insane that he did that. So it got me ready for the Ryder Cup. Like I'm excited now about it. What do you think of uniforms?
I don't mind them. They said it was like...
Was it B. Draddy?
Oh shoot, I don't even
I
know.
think it's B Draddy because they
It might
commented
have
on one
been,
of the
yeah.
they commented on one of the posts and said the boys look good.
Yeah, but I like that it was kind of traditional.
Yeah,
I'm never a fan of like the European, not the European, the Olympic
international.
type outfits.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
it just
I
doesn't look good. And I
I
think
wouldn't
that's the
mind.
problem as far as style has come
Yeah,
today in the game.
I would like one of the American polos that wore on Sunday, the red ones with just the flag on the sleeve and stuff. I would like one of those just to have. I think they were pretty clean,
Yeah.
just simple and
That
clean.
reminds me, every time like Alabama plays, they got the SEC graduate patch.
Oh yeah,
I just want one. I'm hoping Steven from Oklahoma will send me one.
we'll get you.
I'm hoping he gets one. And he's like,
Oh,
those guys, I did like them. Because
yeah,
that crimson is so close to the same. I
it
just want it
is.
for my wall somewhere.
But the President's Cup was. I wish it would have been a little closer than it was because Sunday was just kind of like USA ran away with it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still a lot of fun. Check it out. All right, so we're gonna go. Excuse me, we're gonna go to our picks for this week. LPGA does not have an event this week. The boys are tracking LPGA all season. We started last year or last season tracking LPGA, and got into it. Actually, got really enjoyed it. It doesn't get enough views as it is. So the boys here at BSG, we will be keeping up with LPGA. And as events start, we'll be doing our research so we can talk more about the LPGA. But no event this week for them. But the PGA is I guess this will be considered one of the first events of the season right here.
I looked at the pickums. Apparently, there was one before this.
Uh, well,
Um,
this will be the first one of our season.
yeah. First one for us to
Usually they
actually
start off
pick.
in Hawaii, or they do in Hawaii swing. Maybe that's coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I need to put
Uh,
yours on there.
all right, so we have Sanderson Farms Championship. This is over in the Country Club of Jackson in Jackson, Mississippi. Not a lot of big names in the field, but there are some familiar ones. We have our buddy Wesley Bryan. We've played in a tournament with him.
ZB's in it.
ZB is in the
I've
field.
seen
That is
ZB.
correct.
Cannot wait for that Utah head cover.
That comes out. Is it next month?
Yeah, I think it's next month. He
Uh,
did say October, so that's tomorrow. So
hey, next. This is a side note. Next month. I mean, next week's event, the PGA will be in Utah playing the Black Desert Championship.
ZB's in that one too.
I'm trying to see when they go to Hawaii, but here we go.
I
I
thought
was
it
just
was
looking.
close to January
Maybe it is. Maybe. Oh, yeah.
because
Maybe
they
that's at
played
the
the Sony
beginning.
Open.
Yeah, I thought they started the season over there for some reason. Oh, it
I
is
think it's January for the weather.
January. Yeah, it goes
They
up
start
there.
like far west and then work their way back across the country as the temps go with it.
Yep. Um,
Because I think
I'm
me and Joni, when we went, we only missed it. We were there a week early or a week after the Sony Open, and I looked to get on to play where they played, and it was like $650
Oh man,
as a guest, and I didn't
golly.
know any members, so I had no chance.
So this is. I'm assuming this is the second event of the season. I don't know. It's confusing how the PGA Tour season laid out. We need to do some research on that. I'm actually going to Google it for the people listening because now I feel like what is first event? If you're listening, you're probably thinking, man, y'all should already had this, but the Century Tournament of Champions,
Well,
which
that's
was
old
one.
folks.
This is so confusing to find. Why do they do it like this?
I don't know. It's awful. I think every sport has it laid out so perfect except golf. I can Google the Lakers schedule right now. You can Google, of course, SEC football, but you can almost know the schedule 2 or 3 years in advance.
Yeah,
Outside of like the non-conference games and some of the conference scheduling, you can know who's on the schedule, and then the times get updated just for TV schedule. Golf is like the only thing that changes is the tee times based on how good the team's doing.
yeah. So it's just showing that the Century, that first week of January, is the 2025 schedule. So I guess current season. I don't know. So I don't know if we're in last season or the new season right now making these picks. If we should even be picking right now. But we're going to make picks. We're going to start here. So I'm going with Mr. Mizuno and the visor man, Keith Mitchell. He's, I think, the second or third favorite to win this event. And I'm going in that direction. Keith Mitchell. Who you got?
Nick Dunlap finished
Ooh,
hot. Finished hot towards the end of the last season. I think he's gonna be ready for this year.
you think good season for him?
Yeah, I think he has 3/4 of a season now
Mm-hmm.
to know the ritual. Doesn't have to worry about school anymore. Full dedication to tour life. I think he's ready. I was looking. I thought Luke Clanton would be in it, but I was like, oh shoot, they're back in like real tournaments, like the school tournaments, because he's still in school, right?
Luke, yes, he's still in it.
That's what I was thinking.
Man, so those are our picks for the week. Until Brantley gets on here, we will start with what's coming up. Listen, this Friday, our video with Logan is dropping. It's fun. I'm editing, so I'm going back and seeing like y'all's clips in the cart. He's a natural, ain't he, in front of the camera and
Right, he
stuff?
was. He was so good on camera.
Yeah.
For
So
him to have been down early, he was still with it.
um, I haven't quite. I'm finishing up the front nine now, and so I had to make it to the back nine. But it's gonna be one video that's dropping, and then after that, Utah videos will drop out. We filmed 3 there, and we played 6 rounds of golf. We decided to chill for 3 and like have a friendly competition, and then film 3, which was the greatest decision we ever made because it didn't feel like we
Absolutely.
were working the whole time.
Because, when we were in Pinehurst, we filmed every round. We were exhausted by the end of it. You couldn't have like a relaxing, chirping, joyful round.
Yeah.
And now the way we play is so much more fun to me. I don't know if y'all have watched any of our videos, but now, since we're not in tournaments, we're not playing for money, we
It's so
shamble
fun.
and there's no penalties. So
None.
if you go at OB, you just move the ball to the fairway and go from there for the next swing. I know it's not real golf. I'm here to have fun.
It's real to
We
us.
we play once a month, most months,
Yeah.
sometimes twice, and every time it's on film. So it's like when we get a chance like this, now we're just for fun.
I think it makes us better because we're not in a bad mood. We're hitting shots. So I enjoy it. But that's the style of videos that will be coming out
People
until we jump
get
into
in a
our
bad mood.
yeah until we jump into a new series coming out that we're going to be filming soon. I think Coach Maddox at Point University will be our first of that, which we'll tell you about that. I don't want to jump
No,
into it. I don't
he
people
won't be the first.
who'll be the first. Who we doing?
So Yarno.
Oh yeah. I just don't want people stealing our ideas yet. So
Yeah.
we're
No, we announced it. We already announced it last week.
dang, really?
Yeah.
I'm lost.
We're
All
the
right,
only
so
ones with connections
yeah.
anyway.
So that's what's going to be coming out. Last thing, real quick, we'll talk about BSG. The infrastructure, I guess the right word, is changing a little bit. And for the year, what is this, year 3 of us? 21? No, we've completed this will be 3 years. We're going into year 4, right? Our senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Going into year 4 of making content. And if you didn't know, Brady and his wife Bailey are about to have a baby. And so his life is changing drastically. And they're about to have so much fun with a baby. So Brady is stepping back into dad life and baby life and doesn't really have,
Totally understandable.
yes, understandable, doesn't have the time to put into BSG. And so he's doing that. We're excited for Brady, excited for him to jump into dad life. Everybody else, we've had our kids, and so now Brady gets to like jump into it and be like experience it. I'm excited for him. So you won't see Brady in the podcast or in the videos anymore. We still love Brady. My goal is still to beat him in golf one day. So that's just what's happening on
I
BSG.
got him once.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember
Got
that.
him once. He had a bad day and I had a good day.
We're just announcing it because my biggest pet peeve is good. You never know who's in good. They're swapping
They just
people all
rotate
the time.
bodies.
Yeah. So I didn't want y'all to be like, why is Brady not in anything anymore? That's why he's having a baby. We're excited for Brady. Spam the comments with congratulations, Brady. But everybody, this is Brantley Scott. He's a senior at Troy University. Go Trojans, from Dothan, Alabama. few stats that Zach found on him right here. This is big time. 2023 All Sun Belt first team, 2023 NCAA regional individual. 2023 led the team with 5 rounds in the 60s. We'll talk about that shortly. Southeastern Amateur Championship runner up. You're only one stroke off,
Yes, sir.
correct, in that? Um, so, dude's been playing some good golf. Let's just jump into it. Let's talk about those rounds in the 60s. What in your game do you feel like is clicking when you're shooting like that? Because something
Yeah,
has to be.
I would say for the most part, I feel like when I'm playing well, I'm getting a lot of shots inside 100 yards. Um, that's just kind of what I've just been known to do. Also, when the driver's going well, it's a big thing for me. Typically, not the longest guy and not the best long iron player, but I do love the short course where I can get a lot of wedges in my hand and feel like I can take it low when that happens.
What do you feel like? What's for at y'all's college tournaments? What's about an average yardage
Um,
for y'all that y'all
we've
play?
played anywhere from 6,800 all the way up to 7,650. I mean, we've played just about all of it in
Jeez.
some of the best conditions you've ever seen and some of the most brutal. So
So when you see a sub 7,000 course, is that when you got
yeah,
some
that's
wedges
when
in
we're
your
licking the
hands?
chops.
So,
Do,
so that's me
do
when the
you
course is 60 less than 6,500.
when you have the driver going, do you feel like that instantly solves like the biggest issue for the
I mean,
day?
it's just such a I've gone through spurts where I had the driver really dialed, and then I've had times where it was just lost. We've all gone through that feeling. But when the
Hmm.
driver is dialed, it's just that extra feeling of like, yes, I can go shoot a number today. And I think for me that's super important with that confidence standing on the tee, not having to worry about a right miss in the water or a left miss in the trees. So yeah, having the driver dialed is a big thing for my confidence and for those 60s rounds.
I feel like when my driver is working, everything else just turns on. It's what you instantly you're like you hit it, you don't even have to look at it. You're
Yeah,
like, okay, how far out
yeah,
am I on the next shot? Because I know I'm down
yeah,
there
no doubt.
somewhere.
Fairways are super important.
What do you do when your driver's not working and you go into practice the next week? What do you do? Do you like focus heavily on that, or do you just kind of keep
Yeah,
your
no
same
doubt.
routine?
If every week after we leave a tournament, we go home, we kind of evaluate what we did right, what we did wrong, what we need to work on. And for us here, we have a great facility right here. I can be there in 2 minutes from my apartment. Um, and out there we have a fairway. We have 6 holes, and we have a number 5 fairway, and then we have a range. And in between those, there's a cut of rough who's only about, I would say, maybe 8 yards wide, 10 yards wide. And we come home and we
Hmm.
hit drivers after drivers until we can get 6, 7, 8 out of 10 inside that rough line, and just building that confidence with that small gateway instead of and then you get into a fairway where you have 60 yards wide and you're thinking, oh man, let's just try to hit it dead in the center of that rough line, and you're not worried about anything else.
Yeah.
Aim small,
Absolutely.
miss small.
What are you looking forward to the most this season? Like this is senior year. This is it for you right here. Is there? Do you have any goals you set for
Yeah,
this
I
season?
did. Something y'all may not know is I have been battling an injury since the Southeastern, before the Southeastern, really. So I have missed the first 2 events. So it's been
Man.
it's been a rough start to the senior year. But I'm
Yeah.
working with doctors and our trainers and trying to get it under control and hopefully not miss. I mean, the entire fall it's not likely to play, but hopefully not miss any of the spring as well.
Yeah. The spring is kind of like go
It
time,
is,
right?
no
With the
doubt.
tournaments and
And I tell people all the time, spring is our conference season, but we also this fall is super important for us because we have to establish our ranking in the fall. I mean, our
Mhm.
guys went out and got the job done the first week, and that was huge. We slipped a few spots at our last tournament last week, but we still should be in a pretty good spot to make that run for regionals as a team, and that's ultimately the goal for us, and then to go farther than that as well.
yeah, y'all had a win, didn't y'all?
Yeah, Yep, the
Start the
guys
season
played
off.
really well down in at La Tex event at Squire Creek. It's where Sam Burns is from. Super nice track, and I played there obviously the past 3 years, and I haven't had great success with that course. So it was pretty nice sitting at home and watching the guys go get a win on a place that I've struggled in the past.
Being a senior and out on injury, do you ever travel with the guys if it's semi close to kind of walk with them
Um,
and coach
Not
them up?
yet,
Or
just because we did have a tournament within 3 hours last week, but I got busy here at home with school, and it's just I think the first one was in, like I said, La Tech, which is probably 8 hours from here, and then they're going
Mhm.
8 hours again to Little Rock here in a couple weeks. Um, but
Hmm.
yeah, just super. I mean, when we were the last day at Squire after we were leading, I mean, I wasn't even paying attention in class. I was just refreshing every single second, trying to see what the guys were doing. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't be more proud of the guys. The way some of the guys stepped up and just went and put their head against the ground and got it done. So super proud of them there.
We have a lot of people that listen that are gearheads, so we like to ask everybody, what do you got in the bag right now? What are you playing?
So I have a mixed bag a little bit. Sponsored by Mizuno. Play Mizuno irons,
Okay.
JPX 923 tours, and also play their wedges. They are really really good, and I can't. I've played Vokies my whole life, and I think the Vokies after around the SM7 got a little heavier. I don't know if y'all have noticed that or heard that,
Hmm.
but and I kind of just played with them. I just play in the Vokie, and once I got this Mizuno in my hand, I just like instantly fell in love with that wedge. And then I play the G430 driver and 3-wood. I put the driver in, I would say, a little over a year ago, and then the 3-wood I put in over the summer. Probably one of the best decisions I made. It's been a game changer for me. And then I have a Callaway Epic 5-wood, which is my baby. It's just some old club that was put together. I think I got fitted for it when I was 13, and had a regular flex shaft in it. Found just a stiff flex at home. There's a 3-wood shaft. Put it in the 5-wood, and I would if that club break, I would probably cry. So
Did you
I
cut
did
it down
not.
any, or
I,
are you
I
just
play
playing it
it.
at three
It
wood length?
may be it may be half an inch shorter than a stock 3-wood shaft, just because at the time I was 13, 14, a little shorter. Um, but
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
threw it in there and was just like hitting it around, and I was like, wow, this thing it fits me good. So I haven't even thought about touching it.
What'd you have before the ping driver? Because we're hearing a lot of people using that 430 right
I,
now. Like
I
it's
had
hot. So
It's
what
changed
made
I
you
my
had the
swap
game.
ping.
over?
I had the 410
Okay.
before,
That's
and then I had the Titleist TS4 before that. I played it for a little bit, but it was just pretty hard to hit. But yeah, once I got this, I think me and my swing coach swapped to the 410 spring of my freshman year, and I haven't looked back. I haven't even thought about using
mhm.
anything else.
I'm telling you, ping is. I've still got the 410. I play the 410 now. They've got Zach's got the 430, and ever since they swapped to it, it's been a game changer. That
It's
new
a
ping,
draw. I can hit
yeah.
a
Yeah.
draw now. I was playing uh, the
Mm-hmm.
stealth before, and it was a fade because I could never get
Yeah.
it to turn over. And now it's long, high,
Yeah, no,
nasty draws.
I'm a draw guy too. I've got mine turned on the plus setting, and I feel like I have a lot of confidence with it. I never have issues with the ball not doing what I want to, unless it was me, obviously. But yeah, it's a club, and obviously, like I said, it's a club that trust is very important. Um, so
It's interesting you said that about the wedges. I've got the SM8s, and they were my first set of Vokies. I've had them 4 years now, the same wedges, and I've had Cleveland wedges before that. But an older gentleman that goes to our church, he was talking to me that he had the older Vokies, and he tried the eights or the nines, and he said he didn't like them because he's played Vokies his whole life, but these are
hmm
so heavy compared to what
yeah,
he's
I
used
don't.
to. And so you're the second person
Yeah,
that said that.
it's without a doubt heavier. I'm not sure what the weight is on them exactly, but I would say I think I weighed my newer Vokies at like a D5 or so, and there's just no way that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it changed from the SM7, SM8 because everybody I talked to was like, yeah, they do seem heavier, but SM7s were my favorite set of wedges before these Mizunos. But yeah, I recommend trying out the Mizunos without a doubt.
I think you're probably one of the first people on the pod that's a Mizuno guy.
Yeah. Don't hear a lot
Everybody's
of.
either Callaway or Titleist
Yeah,
most of the
that got with
time.
them I believe it was last summer, early last summer, and they have been awesome. Anytime I need anything, they've been super responsive, and no matter what it is, they're like, "Yep, we'll get it out to you." So
Easily I think best looking irons from blades to cavity backs, and I like the Mizuno ones because people like at our skill level that can't play blades and we have to have cavity backs or muscle backs that you look down at it and it's not one of those
mm-hmm.
ugly thick ones, but the Mizunos, they look clean, they look slim, and it makes you feel like a better
Yeah,
player. I would say Mizuno has the best
I
looking
agree,
irons
and
out there.
they've got such a variety of irons to pick from. I mean, we have last summer I went and got fitted in Atlanta, and I got fitted for the 221s, I believe, which is their 2 years ago blade model. Played them
Mm-hmm.
through the summer at the Southeastern, hit them well, um, and struggled a little bit in college. I ended up getting refit. I think the shafts might have been the problem. I love the heads, but I ended up getting refit and ended up getting into these JPX 923 tours, and I mean I have not looked back. They have been they have been fantastic.
What ball do you
So
play with? Are you
I
just
play
a
Pro
Pro V guy
V1X.
or
They've also been Titleist has been super helpful in helping me out, sending me over balls, shoes, and gloves. So I've been super lucky to get these things coming my way, and don't ever want it to stop.
I
What
don't think we've talked to a guy who doesn't play a Pro V.
and yeah, everybody's Pro
Yeah,
Vs.
I've tried out different balls. I've hit TaylorMades. I've hit the Mizuno ball. But they say there's just nothing like looking down at the Pro V. So
Yeah, I was going to ask at our skill level, uh, we could play any ball honestly, but someone like you're competing. How much of it do you think is really like, oh, people say Pro V is the best, I'm going to play it, and how much of it is like, no, this ball really does perform better than other
yeah,
golf
I mean,
balls?
you know, I think I've seen guys with the same skill level, and I think it just depends on who you ask. I mean, you
Yeah.
have guys that are like, I won't even look at a Pro V1. It's always going to be a Pro V1X. Or you have guys that will say, give me a Pro V1X or give me a Nitro. I mean, they don't care. Um,
Yeah.
and that's just
I can't
maybe
play a
not a
Nitro.
Nitro, but maybe we have a guy on our team who also got picked up by Mizuno, and he played their balls right away, and
Uh-huh.
he seemed to like them. I mean, I guess they were free, but he seemed like he was didn't have any issues with them.
They look
Yeah, they have a
different.
little bit different dimple style, but you know, my granddad has played some. He said he really enjoys them. So I don't know. I just haven't really done much testing just because I've played Titleist my whole life, and that's what I have the most confidence with.
Hmm.
So what's next for you being a senior? Is it professional golf, or do you have a career you want to chase? And then if it is golf, it's such a weird time in golf now where there's these different tours and there's all this different. So, like, do you have a deadline? Like, I'm giving it a year or
Yeah,
6 months, or you
at
just
this
go straight?
point, the first thought is just to get healthy. But past that,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I definitely want to give it a shot. I'd love to play at least 2 or 3 years out there. I'm sure have heard it's extremely expensive to try
Mm-hmm.
and do it.
Hmm.
Um, but after talking with my parents, and I grew up both my granddads playing golf, just talking to them, I mean, we just feel like I've worked this hard. I feel like I owe myself at least a shot. Um, it's
Mm-hmm.
super competitive
Absolutely.
nowadays. Um, but just talking to my roommate, I mean, our thing we say is you just got to play good at the right time. You can play bad for 50 weeks
Yeah.
out of the year, but when that Corn Ferry Q school comes around, it's time to go. So it's all about playing well at the right time. And I think I think anyone of our skill level is good enough in from what I've seen to get hot um, and try and give
Yeah.
it a shot. So I feel like I at least owe it to myself to give it a shot.
We have a guy. Um, he went to Troy for a little bit on the golf team. Now he's down here, Jacob Harper.
Okay.
Um, he is performing in Q school right now, or recently. Somebody posted something is like, imagine shooting 62, 64,
I
63,
saw that.
and still not winning Q school. And it was Jacob's name above him. I said, "Oh,
I
my boy
saw.
Harper."
I think that was at a mini tour event. One of my
Uh-huh.
teammates played in that mini tour event with him, and I think he shot like 64 the first day and was losing by like 6. Uh, yeah,
Which
no,
is crazy.
that's crazy. I've seen Jacob Harper shoot some great scores. I played with Jacob in a also a mini tour event in Dothan, but I think he is playing the DP World Tour Q school, and I think he did make it past first stage if I'm
Oh
thinking
wow.
correctly.
We followed up with him a while back, and he was going to come on, and he said, "Yeah, I got to do it after Q school," and then we didn't follow back up, but so we'll have to have him on. Do you think? Just a few more questions for you. Do you like the path that's available for golfers coming out of college like you to make it to tour, or do you think it's kind of difficult right now, or it could be easier in some ways, or do you like what they're doing with PGA Tour
Yeah,
U and
I
all
mean
that?
PJ Tour U is absolutely amazing. I've got a bunch of buddies that you've seen in the preseason top 25, and they've just that
Hmm.
security of that spot is huge because like I said, Q school is extremely competitive, extremely expensive. So I think these guys should get rewarded for playing good in college golf because this is the I mean college golf is probably some of the hardest golf that you'll see played from time to time. I'm sure we run into easy courses here and there, but I mean, I know I've played courses where you got and shoot 74. You shot a really good round, and that's crazy for Division I college golf. Um, but no, I completely think PJ Tour U is fantastic, and hopefully I can sneak in some spots. Maybe here, maybe next year, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'd love to take advantage of it.
And I like to ask this question to close out and ask guys: is there anything in the game of golf right now that you're not a fan of, like rules or equipment or the tours, or is there anything that like you
You
say
would
I really can't
change.
stand they do that? Yeah, or you want to
Um,
change?
nothing exactly that comes to mind. Maybe when I'm on the course and I roll into a divot, I start maybe just ill mouthing that. I think that's a stupid
Yeah,
rule. But also, then again,
I'm with you
how
on
do you
that one. I
define
hate
it?
that.
So, yeah, no, man,
yeah.
I love golf. I live, eat, and breathe golf, and it's been really hard the past 2 months not being able to touch a club. But no, I think golf is the greatest game ever played, and I think you start changing too many rules, you can lose the originality of it. But so no,
Hmm.
not really. I think it's really good.
Well, Zach and I are. I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube golf, but Bryson right now is doing this whole break 50 thing from the Ford tees with all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of people. And so Zach and I are reaching out to a bunch of golfers like you that we've had on the pod, college golfers and coaches,
Guys
uh,
with talent.
guys with talent.
That's the main thing.
And
Guys
so
with talent who
we're
can shoot
trying to
club.
do it as well. So after your injury and after spring, when you're healed up and focused, we'd love to come up to Troy and not film a video with you. Try to do it from the
Yeah, no
Ford tees
doubt.
and with someone of yours
Let's do it.
level.
Hopefully it won't take too long for me to get through this injury, and I'd love to give it a whack.
Awesome. We appreciate it. Well,
Yeah,
thanks for
man.
coming on, Brantley, and taking time to talk to us. And we hope that you heal up, and we're rooting for Troy to keep on working their way up the rankings so that spring y'all can make a
Yes, sir. I
run.
appreciate you guys having me on. Have a
Awesome.
good
Thanks,
Thank
one.
you.
Brantley. You too.
You too.
All right. So, Brantley Scott, go check him out on Insta. Going to end with a drop zone real quick before I have to get off. And I think I know your answer to this, but have you ever had a hole in one? No, we haven't. If not, what's your closest call? Was it North Carolina last year when we thought it was in, or have you been closer than that?
No, I've lipped one.
Oh, a hole in one? Dang.
We played. It was me, Jeremy, Mitch, and Brady, um, Bull Creek or one of the clubs in Columbus. Swinging 5-iron over the water. It was like 195, and you just see it. And then it takes a turn right at the stick. I said, "Oh my god!" I
Oh my
thought I
god,
thought it went in. It was closer than the one at Purcell.
that's crazy. My closest was just one time at hole 6 at point. I think I hit it to like 2 feet, and that's like the closest I've been to hole 1. I always think if I'm gonna hit one, it's gonna be there at point hole 6.
Or 17. I think 17's gettable.
17, yeah. But hole 6, has that ridge in the middle, and if the pin's to the right, if you can hit that
You
ridge, it
feed at it.
feeds to it. But let us know in the comments your answer to that. That's it for episode 120. Thanks, Brantley, coming on. Make sure you like and subscribe. And this Friday or Saturday, new video coming out with Logan. Make sure you check it out. We'll see y'all next week for 121. Do we have a guest next week?
Working on it.
Working on it. See y'all next week.